Wole Ojewale is the Regional Organised Crime Observatory Coordinator for Central Africa at the Institute for Security Studies, and he joins us live now from Abuja. Thanks so much for coming on TRT World. Sexual violence, then, once again being used as a weapon of war to intimidate communities, as we were hearing that. As far as we can tell in Sudan, how widespread is the phenomenon?
Thank you so much for having me. This has been going on for a while now, and it has been a major challenge which has also become an overlapping crisis, particularly for the women folks who are caught up between the war and the issues of displacement. So I think it's something that is becoming a new layer of challenge to the people, the women and girls in particular. But much more than that, what I think is important now is that looking at the conflagration of what is going on, the US, which is a major issue that is going on in terms of the statement that they have released today, need to do more than that. We've seen what they've done in supporting and bringing peace to people in Ukraine and Gaza. And I think it is that same momentum that is lacking in Sudan now. So the US need to go beyond making press statements by actually intervening in the plight and crises that are affecting the people in Sudan.
All right, then, the US, amongst others, needs to do more. What exactly should the US be doing? What are you calling for?
I'm calling for peaceful intervention, the dialogue, the mediation that has not gathered the sufficient steam in the past few months now. The US need to bring the weight behind that and put enough sanction on the people that are perpetrating the war. The crisis in Sudan present a binary challenge in the sense that both the army and the RSF are illegitimate in the country. And then it becomes very difficult to see where they are going to lie behind. But I think the US need to put their feet on the ground, not just making press statements. And I believe looking at how the US has intervened in Gaza, in Ukraine, they can also intervene in Sudan, not necessarily putting the boot on the ground, but putting the force, putting the sanction, and then actually lift the mediation off the ground. The mediation has not gone off the ground at all in the past few months.
No, indeed. My understanding is that mediation efforts have left parties quite embarrassed because people just simply haven't really showed up and haven't really participated effectively. I just wondered if I could ask you a little bit more about this sexual violence and these women who are abducted into slavery. Can you talk to me a bit about exactly how that happens and therefore how it could be prevented?
Yes, the state is completely missing in action, and there's no one to really enforce the rule as far as protection of civilians is concerned, because the state is also at war with this militia group called RSF. So to the extent to which law enforcement has completely broken down, and there's no any form of stability anywhere. Both parties, their soldiers, their foot soldiers can run rampant on the women because they are defenseless, they are vulnerable, and then they become the easy target for the people. And that is what has been weaponized in the past few weeks. That we've been talking about these, whether on media and other platform. It is gaining ground and it is affecting the people. In fact, it is now an overlapping crisis in which people are being displaced and they are also suffering sexual violence at an unimaginable scale. So that is the reason why I've argued earlier that anybody that wants to show interest in the plight of the people must go beyond press statement.
Okay, Wole Ojewale from the Institute for Security Studies, joining us from Abuja. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.